Here are some things that all good readers remember. Predict what the book will be about. Ask yourself questions as you read. Try and work out difficult words. Listen to yourself as you read. Reread when you need to. Making Mozzy. Title. The title tells you something about the story. Can you predict what the story is about by reading the title? Illustration. The illustration on the cover of the book shows you something that is happening in the story. The picture on the front of the book shows you something you will find inside the book. What does this picture show you? What is this illustration about? Blurb. The blurb gives you a quick summary of the story. Can you predict what the story is about by reading the blurb? Table of contents. The table of contents is a list of the chapters in the story. Making Mozzy. Written by Jen Storer. Illustrated by Tom Karima. If you are having trouble working out a word, try these strategies. Skip the word and read on to the end of the sentence. Can you guess what the word is now? Does it make sense and sound right? Look at the start of the word. What sound do you hear when you say the first letter? Can you sound out the first 2 or 3 letters? Look at the whole word. Are there any parts you can sound out? Break the word into syllables. Reread the whole sentence. Can you think of a word now that makes sense and sounds right? Making Mozzy. Written by Jen Storer. Illustrated by Tom Karima. Contents. An old teddy, page 1. Googly squirrel, page 6. Dad's treasure trove, page 11. Jess's strange idea, page 15. The one-eyed rabbit, page 20. Meet Mozzy, page 26. The hazard garage, page 31. The wattle spin, page 32. The Mozzy rap, page 34. Glossary, page 36. Characters. Danny, Jess, Gums, Mum, Dad. Chapter 1. An old teddy. I'm on the family room floor playing with Gums while I wait for Jess. We've got a day of skateboarding planned. It's going to be cool. Jess is the best skateboarder on Wattle Street. Gums is pushing his old truck around. His teddy is in the back. The teddy has one ear and one leg, and its face is squashed and bald. Gums, I say, you need a new teddy. Eddie, says Gums, and he hugs his teddy. Mum pops her head around the door. Jess will be here soon, Danny, she says. Great! It's time to go and find my skateboard and clean it up. I've been practicing my skateboard tricks. Jess is in for a big surprise when she sees me in action. See you later, Gums, I say. Look after that teddy. Eddie, says Gums. I go out to the garage. Dad is up on a ladder. He's trying to pack stuff into the roof space. Our garage is so full of stuff, it looks like a junk shop. Hey, Dad, I say. Where's the oil? Which oil do you mean? Says Dad, looking down at me. The olive oil? The peanut oil? Granddad's hair oil? Very funny, Dad. I'm looking for the oil for my skateboard, I say. Jess is coming over soon. I need to oil my trucks before she gets here. It might be in one of the drawers, says Dad. I check the drawers. No oil. I check the boxes. No oil. Then I check the bucket behind the door. Still no oil. Dad, I can't find the oil anywhere, I say. Dad looks at me again and scratches his head. Oh yes, I remember now. It's in the cabinet under the workbench, says Dad. Make sure you put it back when you're finished. This garage is getting to be a schmozzle. What's a schmozzle? I say. Look around you, Dan, says Dad. You're looking at a schmozzle. This place is a mess. Chapter 2. Googly Squirrel. I grab the oil and take a seat at the workbench. I turn the skateboard over. I oil the trucks and give them all a spin. They turn freely. Then I flip the skateboard over again. It doesn't look good. In fact, my skateboard looks pretty worn out. It's had a hard life. It needs more work than I thought. I get some sandpaper and a rag from one of the drawers. I sand off some of the scratches. Then I dust off the deck with the rag. I'm glad I'm so good at fixing things. My skateboard is starting to look better. In fact, it almost looks like new again. The final touch is my new sticker. It's really cool. Matt gave it to me. It's a crazy squirrel with big teeth and googly eyes. The squirrel looks like it's riding a skateboard. I smooth the googly squirrel onto the bottom of my skateboard. Now Jess will see the sticker when I do my amazing ollies. Jess is here, Danny, calls Mum. I strap on my helmet and pads and grab my skateboard. Catch you later, Dad, I call. Dad says something, but his voice is muffled. I can't talk now. It's time for some skateboard action. I skate out of the garage and along the drive. It's an awesome sight. I wish someone had a camera. I'm gliding like an eagle on wheels. I am Danny the Eagle Hazard. I stop at the end of the drive and flip my skateboard into my hand. I look around, but I don't see Jess anywhere. She must be inside. I race into the house. I can't wait to show Jess my new moves and my new sticker. I run into the kitchen and stop dead. Jess is standing by the sink talking to Gums. She's not wearing her skate gear. She doesn't have her skateboard, and she's on crutches. Now what are we going to do? Hi, Danny, says Jess. What happened to you? I say. No, wait. Don't tell me. You tried to do a kickflip, but you slipped and broke your leg. No way, says Jess. I'm too good for that. I tripped on the remote control and sprained my ankle. Jess, I say, that is what I would call a freak accident. Chapter 3. Dad's Treasure Trove. So, what do you want to do? I say. Jess shrugs her shoulders. Something fun? It's so boring being on crutches, says Jess. This is a challenge even for Danny Hazard. What's a fun thing that can be done on crutches? I suggest shooting hoops or riding our bikes. Jess can't do those things. We can't go to the park either. We can't even play with Monty or chase Mr. Claw, I say. Why don't you play a board game? Says Mum. Jess shakes her head. Well, you could read some books, says Mum. I shake my head. What about doing some homework? Says Mum. Jess and I both shake our heads. We never do homework on a Saturday. I've thought of something useful, says Mum. You could help Dad in the garage. He could use a hand. There is a lot to do out there. No offence, Mum, I say, but that sounds as boring as being on crutches. You never know, says Mum. Just think what you might find. That garage is a treasure trove. Cool, says Jess. I love old junk. Come on, Danny. Let's go and check it out. Chapter 4. Jess's Strange Idea. Dad is up in the roof. Hello, Jess, he calls. Looks like you'll be out of action for a while. It's a sprained ankle, Mr. Hazard, says Jess. It's all puffed up and purple. Ouch, says Dad. Mum said you could use some help, Dad, I say. Great, says Dad, climbing down. You two can sort through that big wooden trunk. It's full of old toys. Throw out the broken ones and we'll give the others to charity. Jess and I open the lid of the big wooden trunk. Wow! Look at all this stuff. Let's see if we can find something for Gums, says Jess. There must be something in here that he would like, I say. Jess digs deep. She pulls out an action figure with no head. Then she finds a tanker truck with no wheels and a rubber ducky with no beak. Did you really play with these, Danny? Says Jess. No way, I say. They must have been Sarah's toys. I pull my old teddy out of the trunk. I remember this, I say. I could give it to Gums. But it's in worse shape than the one he's got. After a while, we have pulled out all the good toys and put them in a box. You know what? Says Jess. All these broken toys are giving me ideas. Uh-oh. Jess often has strange ideas, even when she's not on crutches. We don't need to throw out all the broken toys, says Jess. But they're no good, Jess, I say. They're wrecked, mangled, worn out. Not necessarily, says Jess. I've got a plan. A recycling plan. Now pass me that old one-eyed rabbit and I'll tell you all about it. Chapter 5. The One-Eyed Rabbit. Jess's recycling plan is clever, but it gets even better when I add my ideas. Jess and I get busy. First, I go into the house to get the sewing kit and the glue. What are you doing? Says Mum. Just cleaning up for Dad, I say. After that, Jess and I sort through all the broken toys. We take the head of the one-eyed rabbit and stitch it to the body of an old rag doll that says Mama. Then we take a big white button and colour a red circle in the centre. We stitch the button onto the rabbit's face. Now the one-eyed rabbit has two eyes. One is small and one is very big, but that doesn't matter. The rabbit's ears are worn out. It needs new ones, says Jess. We find some ears on an old felt elephant. We cut them off and stitch them onto the rabbit's head. Its legs are worn out too, says Jess. We look around. There's an old Humpty Dumpty with stuffing sticking out. We use its legs. I put some plastic boots on the legs for extra protection. It's starting to look good, says Jess. But I think it needs something else to finish it off. We both look through the rest of the broken toys. What about this hat? I say. Too small, says Jess. We find a cape with a big hole in it. Hey, this is perfect, says Jess, as she pulls some butterfly wings out of the trunk. Jess ties the colourful silk wings to the new toy's back and holds it up for me to see. Gums is going to love it, I say. If only we could make it move, says Jess. I sort through the rest of the broken toys again. I find some strings off an old Pinocchio puppet. Cool, says Jess. When the new toy is finished, we hide it in the wooden trunk. Then we get some old chairs and line them up in front of the trunk. We call Dad down from the roof. He's been wondering what we've been making. After that, we call for Mum and Gums to come out to the garage. Now everyone cover your eyes, says Jess. You can't open them until we say ready. Sounds mysterious, says Mum, and she covers her eyes. Gums hides behind his teddy. Are you ready, Danny? Whispers Jess. I'll work the strings and you pull on the cord in its back. Chapter 6. Meet Mozzy. 1, 2, 3, ready? Shouts Jess. They all open their eyes. The new toy stands up and I pull the cord in its back. Mama, says the new toy, and it moves its arms and legs up and down. Mama, it says again. Dad roars with laughter. Gums squeals and Mum gasps. That toy is the biggest schmozzle I've seen in my life, says Dad. Hey, that gives me an idea, says Jess. We should call the new toy Mozzy. Hello, Mozzy, says Dad. I knew those broken toys would come in useful one day. Jess pulls the strings again and I pull the cord. Mama, says Mozzy. Oh, it's awful, says Mum. Mozzy's not awful, Mum, I say. He's cool. What do you think, Gums? Gums slowly puts down his teddy. Then he carefully steps towards Mozzy. Gums reaches for his new toy. Mama, says Mozzy. Jess jiggles the toy's arms. Gums giggles. Then he jiggles his arms too. Mozzy, says Gums, jiggling and giggling. Mozzy, Mozzy, Mozzy. Then Gums picks up Mozzy and gives him a big hug. See, I say, Gums knows a cool toy when he sees one. The best thing is he knows how to say its name, says Jess. Dad starts laughing again, but Mum is not so sure. I still say it's awful, says Mum. Mama, says Mozzy. I'm sure Mum is trying not to laugh. Gums is happy with his new toy. That's another great idea from Danny Hazard, and Jess Moore, of course. The Hazard Garage. The Wattle Spin. Cuddly Toy or Hideous Schmozzle? You decide. By Jing Chen, roving reporter. It has come to my attention that a new and very unusual toy has appeared on Wattle Street. The toy goes by the name of Mozzy, and I have made it my business to find out where this toy came from and if anyone really likes it. My investigations led me to interview two of my friends, Danny Hazard and Jess Moore. According to Danny, Jess had the idea to make Mozzy when she saw all the broken toys in the Hazard garage. In an interview, Danny said, "My brother Gums has a really old teddy that's falling apart. Jess and I decided to make Gums a new toy from the old toys we were about to throw out. It's all about recycling and having great ideas." I asked Jess what they used to make this toy called Mozzy, and she said, "Oh, you know, we use some of this and some of that and just put it all together." Jess was not very helpful. I have seen this new toy, and it is my opinion that it is quite ugly. In fact, I would say it is creepy. Mrs. Nancy Hazard agrees with me. In an interview she said, "It's a very strange toy, and I don't like the look of it at all. But for some reason, it still makes me laugh." When I asked Mr. Hazard about the toy, he said it was a stroke of genius. As you can see, opinions are divided on Wattle Street. One thing is certain. Even if many of us think Mozzy is yucky, Gums does not agree. In fact, he now carries Mozzy with him everywhere. Mozzy and the battered old teddy are his favourite friends. Who are we to judge? I leave it to you.
The Mozzy Rap by Jess Moore. Gums, our boy, he needs a toy with class and style. He needs a toy to give him joy, a toy to make him smile. We say, yo Mozzy, you stand out from the pile. Yo Mozzy, you really make us smile.
Glossary. Charity. An organisation that provides help to people in need. Kickflip. A type of ollie where the skater kicks the board into a spin, then lands back on it. Ollie. A basic jump trick performed by skateboarders. Schmozzle. A muddle or a confused mess. Treasure trove. Something, often hidden, that is of great value to its owner. Trucks. The mountings for the wheels of a skateboard. Word sorter. Click Start. Break words into their syllables to help work them out when you are reading, and also when you are trying to spell them. For example, wonderful has 3 syllables, and Danny has 2 syllables. It's easier to break the word into its syllables when you say the word slowly or clap your hands as you say it. Sort them out. Drag the correct word into the space, then click on Check It. Well done. Drag the next word. Great work. Drag the next word. Great work. Drag the next. Fantastic. Drag. Great work. Drag the. Fantastic. Drag the next. Fantastic. Drag the next. Fantastic. Drag. Well done. Drag the next word. Well done. Drag the next word. Great work. Drag. Fantastic. Drag the next. Great work. Drag the next word. Great. You sorted all the words. You are really good at sorting out words. Click on Print or click Next to finish. Missing words. Here is a page from the book with some of the words missing. You can put them back. Click on Start. Drag the correct word into the space, then click on Check It. That's great. Try the next word. That's great. Try the next word. Try again. You can do it. Brilliant. Try the next word. Fantastic. Try the next word. That's great. They're all done. Click on Print to print your missing words page, or click Next to finish. Let's do a crossword puzzle using words from the book. A crossword is a fun way of thinking about the meaning of different words. Click on Start. Type the letters to make the word in the clue, then click on Check It. Click Delete to delete a letter. Click Clear to delete a word. Brilliant. That's great. Well done. Brilliant. Brilliant. Well done. Well done. Congratulations! You have finished the crossword. Click on Print to print your crossword, or click Next to finish.